Programming a recital, and I'm speaking specifically about a classical recital, is an art. The thing is that, sometimes when we're programming recitals, we think about like all of our favorite music that we want to sing. And we may think that putting all of those favorite things on your program is going to be the greatest recital ever because you get to sing what you love to sing. And surely that love of that music is going to come across to your audience. And there's nothing wrong with programming what you love to sing. However, some things that you need to take into consideration is that just because you love to sing it doesn't mean that, number one, it belongs on a program with certain other repertoire. And number two, that vocally it makes sense to sing all of these pieces. Okay. I give you this advice because of experiences that I have had. I have always been drawn to sort of big, dramatic, showy music. Okay. Music that is not only beautiful, but also powerful and shows off my voice and makes a statement. Okay. And so what I used to do when I was younger was I would program these recitals that would be enormous. I mean, enormous. Like I would program a recital that would have, 4 song cycles that would all have the extremes of my ranges showing and the biggest dramatic moments. Or I would program 3 huge mad scene arias on a recital just because I love to sing them and I love to show off and such. But what invariably happened is that I would walk off the stage being vocally exhausted and realizing that there were certain parts of the recital that I could never really get a handle on because it was just too big a sing all the way through. And so I had to learn the hard way that it is not necessary to program every single huge piece that I've ever learned on the same recital. Okay. So when you're thinking about coming up with what it is that you want to sing in a recital, I mean, you may find that coming up with a theme is the way to go. Perhaps you're coming up with a theme of a particular subject, like themes of maybe you're going to do a recital on war and peace. And so you find songs or arias that fit those two ideas. Or maybe you want to sing a recital of all African American composers. Okay, so that has a very specific kind of programming that you can do. Or if you want to sing a recital all based on music, like say operatic composers who have written art songs. Okay, so you showcase the art songs of these operatic composers. Whatever. A theme can help you sort of hone in on a particular kind of style or idea that you want to do. And then what you want to do is you want to figure out, okay, how would you like to start this recital as far as the storytelling of the recital? Or and that can be the storytelling of the theme, or that could be the storytelling of your musical interpretation of what it is that you want to present. And then you want to figure out how you want to end the recital. Okay, making sure that you are tying up that storytelling, whether it be dramatic or vocal, or a combination of both, in a bow. All right. So you figure the beginning and the end. Okay. Now, generally, what you want to do is if you've got a really big sing, you want to save that for a place where you feel the vocally the most warmed up. Okay. Now, you might think that singing the biggest, hardest piece first on your recital is the best idea. And maybe it is for you, and that's great. But what you need to determine is, what does your voice feel like after you've sung that really big, huge piece? Okay. Does it feel fully warmed up and ready to sing anything else? Or does it feel tired, like you need time to rest? Okay. If it feels tired, singing it first in the program is not going to help you at all. Okay. You might want to sing something at the very beginning of the program that tells the story, begins the story that you want to tell, but also helps set the foundation for your voice on a technical level. Okay. For instance, Leontine Price, the great operatic soprano, would always, always, always start her recitals with a Handel aria. And the reason that she did that was because Handel was sort of therapy for her voice. It was the repertoire that she could walk out on stage if she had a little bit of nerves, or she needed to sort of get her bearing and find her voice in the hall and line up her voice. Handel did that for her. Okay. And therefore, once she laid the foundation and her voice found its grounding in that Handel aria, that allowed her then to go on to even bigger rep or more impressive rep or whatever after it. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are always programming the hardest pieces in your repertoire in a very specific place in the program. You know, maybe you have a big piece that you do at the end of the first half, so that during intermission, you have time to rehydrate, rest, do some cool down exercises before you go on to the next piece. Okay. So then in the second half of the recital, you can maybe start with something that is a little lighter, and then it leads up to the big ender, which you can handle vocally and dramatically because your voice is lined up the right way. All right. Now, when you're doing classical recitals, these days, there really aren't that many rules anymore. You know, it used to be that you would choose to do sets of songs that are related by either by composer or by the lyricist or librettist, or that you did a full song cycle, or you did themes in particular songs that go together. It really doesn't matter right now any longer how it is that you program the music, musically, thematically, or repertoire wise. Okay. As long as it makes sense to you, you want to tell the story that you're telling in whatever way that makes sense. Okay. And combining that with the most strategic way to program the music so that your voice remains healthy and flexible and expressive, that is the way that you are going to feel like you can have the most successful performance possible. So, if you've got any great thematic ideas for recitals, let me know in the comments below. I love to hear them. Have a great day.